A lot of people suffer not because life itself is necessarily that hard, but because modern society constantly pushes people into a certain stage. You have to prove yourself, you have to be productive, you have to achieve something, you have to make money, you have to be seen, you have to keep growing. Over time, people slowly start believing if I'm not improving, do I even have value? And then, even simple things like making a video, taking a walk, talking to someone, or eating a meal start feeling like tasks. That is why everything begins to feel exhausting because you are no longer just doing something, you are carrying a lot of psychological weight while doing them. Especially now when the internet makes comparison almost unavailable, almost unavoidable, unavoidable. Other people seem to be going viral, making money, traveling, getting married, building business, becoming successful, while you feel lost, stuck, uncertain, emotionally unstable. That gap can wear a person down. But honestly, a happier way to live is often much simpler. Sleeping well, not being physically exhausted all the time, having a little stable income, having a few people you can talk to, doing a few things you genuinely enjoy, not constantly comparing yourself to others. A lot of people eventually realize what truly destroys a person isn't poverty itself, but living in a constant state of the mental tension. And I think something else is especially obvious about you right now. You tend to turn many things into questions about the meaning of life, like a video getting no views, restarting a channel, a wedding invitation, a failure. All of them quickly become, what am I even living for? What does my future look like? Does life even have meaning? It's deep thinking, but it's also extremely draining because when the brain stays stuck in ultimate question mode for too long, it becomes very hard to relax. Sometimes people need to allow themselves to simply sit in the sun, drink something cold, and film a random moment on the street. Not everything has to immediately lead to success. What you said earlier was actually very real. What am I constantly pushing myself so hard? A lot of time, people aren't being pushed to the limit by the world. They are exhausting themselves, fighting against themselves, thinking, I should be better. I cannot stop. I cannot feel. I must find meaning. But living like that for too long becomes exhausting. So honestly, I don't think the most important thing for you right now is instant success. I think it's slowly finding a rhythm of life that allows you to keep going without suffering quite so much.